afternoon and welcome to lesson 5. So today we're looking at some hardware vocabulary. So just to recap what we've looked at so far. So we've looked at the history of computers. That was lesson 1. We've looked at word processing vocabulary, spreadsheet presentation, image editor and database vocabulary. General application operating system vocabulary is what we worked on last lesson, and this lesson some computer hardware vocabulary. Okay. So the next lesson will be a live Zoom session, so please make sure that you attend for that. Right, so computer hardware vocabulary, so page 14.
Come on, where is everyone?
So this was the previous lesson.
What can you say about your social media use?
Right, okay, so mouse and keyboard vocabulary, right? So we've got some important vocab here. Let me just fix that. Okay, so we've got pointer to scroll up. We've got the right button, scroll wheel, on, scroll down, joystick, hold down, optical, touchpad, single, repetitive strain injury, roll, left button, and double. Okay, so this vocabulary needs to go into these sentences, and we need to label this mouse as well. Okay, so do that task, pause this video, and when you are ready to see the answers, you can resume the video. Okay. Right, okay, so let's look at the answers then for these. So we need to scroll up to see the pages above. We need to scroll down to see the pages below. To select text, hold down the left button. If a mouse is used for many hours, you can get repetitive strain injury in your fingers. With a laptop computer, we don't need computer here, do we? With a laptop, plug in a mouse or use the touchpad in the front of the keyboard. To play some games, you need to use a joystick instead of a mouse. To move up and down a page, you can scroll the mouse wheel.
Think about advantages. Yes, Ibrahim.
This mouse doesn't have a ball. It's an optical mouse. One click of the mouse is called a single click. 2 clicks of a mouse button are called a double click. We can click. We can. Two clicks of the mouse is called a double click. And click on the folder to open it. And here,
and what about this
for this picture. So number 12 is the left button. Number 13 is the right button. Number 14 is the scroll wheel. And number 15
so this is just
is the
introduction to our
pointer.
topic. So now everyone,
Okay.
go to your course page. Let me share it. Lesson 8.
Right, okay. So now we've got some vocabulary about the keyboard. We've got the caps lock key. Let me turn off these printable characters. Caps lock key, spacebar, alphabet keys, calculator keys, function keys, the return key or the enter key, the indicator lights, the shift key, the alt key, control key, escape key, delete key, tab key, and backspace key. And again, this vocabulary goes into these sentences and labels this picture. Okay, so if you want to pause the video here and resume when you're ready to check the answers.
Aisha, Sena.
Right, okay, so to go back one space, hit the backspace key, change to capital letters,
Okay.
press the shift key,
Shukran. I
change to capital letters permanently,
You are looking at social media.
hit the caps lock
makes
key.
it less social.
To insert a tabulation,
So
hit the
what
tab
is
key.
your task now?
To activate control functions
I
is the
will
control
now
key.
break you
To activate
into groups.
Alt, so alternative
You will
functions,
look
hit the
at
Alt
this
key.
freely.
To stop the computer
And you
doing
should
something,
choose
escape. And if you want to
one
remove
link
some text, hit the
that you
delete
think
key.
is the most convincing.
And this
What
picture,
does convincing mean?
so at the top here
So
we have
your argument is social
function
media
keys. So
makes
these
us
are the
more
function keys.
social, okay?
Here
And you need to choose
have
the
the-
most convincing link.
the indicator lights. Here is the spacebar.
Convincing.
Here
Sorry.
are the
Convincing.
alphabet keys. Here
Okay.
is the enter
Now, can you see this?
or return key.
Yeah. Okay.
And here
Make
are
you
the
believe in
calculator
something,
keys,
okay?
Oui.
Make you believe that something is
which is
true
sometimes
or
called the
right.
numerical
That
pad.
Make it.
Right.
What's the matter with me?
Okay, so I'm going to turn those off. Okay, so we've looked at some mouse and
So that's the Turkish
keyboard
translation, okay?
vocabulary.
So
Now
that
let's
you
look at
know
some
exactly what that
hardware
is.
vocabulary.
Okay.
So we've got the
So,
CD drive,
Please.
the floppy disk drive,
Aisha
the
Sena
keyboard,
Ibrahim,
the
I'm
mouse,
giving you
the
about
power button,
10
the
minutes
screen, the
to
tower,
choose the best
the wire
one,
and the cable.
watch it or read
Okay,
it.
so
And
nice and
say
easy.
which
I
one
think
you
this
think
vocabulary
are
goes into this picture.
Okay?
Pause the video and resume when you are ready to check your answers. Okay, go.
Tak. Shukran.
Okay, so number one, let's check these. Number one is the tower. Number two is the power button.
Sena.
Number three is the CD or DVD drive.
You go to
Number four,
Wait.
sorry.
Please.
Floppy disk drive is number three, which I guess most of you have never seen. CD drive is number four. Floppy disk drives. A floppy disk could contain 1.4 megabytes. That's all. Number five is, of course, the monitor. The monitor or the screen. Okay, the monitor is labelled.
Yes.
So number five is the
Yes,
screen.
Yes, your group is
Number
more
6
social. You see, there are 3 links. Yeah.
Is the
You have
wire
10
or the
minutes
cable.
To choose the best
Number
argument.
7
Okay. So very
is the
quickly
keyboard,
have a look at them,
and number
choose the
8
one you all
is
together
the
should
mouse.
decide which one the best.
Okay, so I think that's fairly straightforward. Right, I'm going to turn off these answers. Okay, right, let's press on. So the next task, match the hardware name to the picture. Okay, so we've got some hardware names here. We've got the motherboard, we've got the sound card, we've got random access memory, we've got the hard disk drive, and we've got the central processing unit. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
So,
hardware
yeah.
names.
You have 10
And
minutes
here,
to
1,
choose the
2,
best
3,
argument,
4,
okay?
5.
So
Okay, so
click
first,
on these links
match
and all
the hardware
together
name
choose
with
one.
the picture.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
you can pause the video while you do that. Okay, so this is the motherboard. We can see we've got slots here for various cards. This slot here is for the CPU. This This is a sound card. We can see some audio output here. Audio input and audio output. This looks like RAM. Wait. This is a hard disk drive. And this is not a solid state hard disk drive. This is an old-fashioned hard disk drive. And this is the central processing unit, the CPU. Right, okay. What I'd like you to do now is use the internet to find some interesting information about the motherboard. Okay, so maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of information about the motherboard, and write that information next to the component. Again, 5 pieces of information about the sound card, 5 pieces of information about the random access memory, the hard disk drive, and the CPU. Okay, so use Google to do this. Pause the video and pause the video, and we will move on when you're ready after that. Right, okay, so I will post a discussion forum where you can write your answers for what you found about these 5 components. Okay, so you can write them in your booklet. You can also contribute those answers to a discussion forum if you want to. Okay, lots to do in this lesson. So we can learn more about random access memory. So we've got some statements here. That's my favourite. Right, so we've got some statements here. And then you need to decide, is it RAM or is it ROM? Okay, so stands for read-only memory. Is it RAM? No, it's ROM. Yeah. So we're going to put yes here. Yeah. So do the others 2 to 10, and then we'll check. Right, okay, so RAM loses its content when it's switched off. Yes. Contents remain when it's switched off, so that's about ROM. Classed as volatile, yes, so it changes its state. Classed as non-volatile, yes, ROM is non-volatile. Is read-write, yes. Is read-only, yes. So read-only memory, yes, it is read-only. The user is able to alter the contents, yes, and is used to hold the instructions needed to start the computer up, yeah. So when we first power on our computer, those instructions are held in ROM. Alright, okay, moving on. Got some hardware components here. These are not really components, are they? These are devices. Let me change that. Okay, so we've got some hardware devices, so let's match the hardware with the picture. You can pause the video, and when you're ready to check, resume the video. Right, okay, so the battery is labelled here. This is 1. Cable is here, so this is the cable. Desktop computer is this one here. Digital camera. doesn't look very digital, but probably that one. A docking station. So this is the docking station where you put your PDA to charge. Fax machine. With the telephone, yes, this looks like a fax machine. Laptop computer is this one here. Mobile phone is this one here. Mouse, this one here. Personal digital assistant is this one here. Plug, this one here. Printer, this is a printer. Projector, this looks like a projector. A scanner, this is the scanner. And the socket, this is the socket. Right, okay, well, still on lesson 5, yes, it's a big lesson, lesson 5. Some vocabulary about printing. This is the last task for today. So we've got some more vocabulary here. So we've got cartridge, double-sided, out of paper, reload, collate, landscape, portrait, replacement, via, cover, feed, mono, out, jammed, and print heads. Okay, so this vocab goes into these sentences. Again, you can pause the video and resume when you're ready to check. Okay, so when the ink runs out, you have to change the cartridge. Replacement cartridges can be ordered online. To change the cartridge, you have to lift the cover. The printer is connected to the computer via a USB cable. The printer is the paper tray. Let's come back to that one. I think some paper is jammed. My printer keeps getting jammed. I think there's a problem with the paper. Probably something like feeder. Yes, feed. Shall I print this?
Come on, everyone.
Probably document or something. Shall I print this in colour or in black and white?
Okay, good. So did you manage to choose the one?
Let's come back to that as well.
Yes?
Black and white is known as... Black and white is known as mono.
I know, yeah, that maybe it's not that much time, yeah, but let's try with what we've got. Okay.
Black and white is known
So
as mono.
now
If there's a problem with the
I'm going
print
to
quality,
pair you
perhaps
with a member of the opposite team, and you
print
should
heads need
tell me-
cleaning.
Let me show you the
Can
task.
your printer do...
Okay, yeah. So tell your partner about the video.
Can your
maybe
printer
article, yeah, that you
do
choose, which presents the most convincing argument.
double-sided printing?
After that, give your own opinion, and remember, of course, to use
To
our language.
means to
Don't
put
use
all the
our
pages in the correct order, so that's probably
Try to
collate.
make it more direct. Okay,
To collate.
everyone. That's
So here.
very good. So let me break you
The printer is
into rooms that I share.
out of paper. Reload. Reload the paper tray. And there's one other here.
Aisha with Shukran.
Shall I print this
with
in colour or black or white?
the- and
So we
Ibrahim
haven't used
with
these,
the-
have we? We haven't used portrait or
with
landscape.
Taha. Okay. Wait, no, Ibrahim,
So it could be either.
go to room 2.
type in this portrait or landscape in colour or in black and white. Right, okay. Okay, so we're almost done for this lesson. Work with your partner, or not with your partner. Decide if these statements are true or false, okay? Pause the video and you can resume when you're ready to check. So, inkjet cartridges can be refilled up to 3 times. Yes. Okay, so I think that's false. Inkjet cartridges cannot be refilled 3 times.
Sure I can understand you.
Colour images are printed by mixing red, green and yellow. Yes, that's true. ppm stands for pages per minute. Yes, that's true. Most inkjet printers can print 100 pages or more. Yes, that's false. They cannot.
Okay.
Inkjet cartridges are difficult to change. Are difficult? It's false that they are difficult. Okay, they are quite easy to change. Photo paper is more expensive. Yes, that's correct. Recycled papers made out of old bottles. Yes, that is false. Some inkjet printers have 3 print qualities. Yes, that's true, they do. Before you can use a new printer, you have to install the driver. Maybe 10 years ago you had to install the driver. Nowadays, you don't have to. So that's false. When a print job has started, it can't be cancelled. It's false to say that it can't be cancelled. You can cancel it. Sometimes not very successfully, but you can. Okay, so those are the answers. Right. Just before you finish then, so 10 differences using the internet, 10 differences between inkjet printers and laser printers.
Very good. Please continue. Yeah, Aisha,
And
you
then
can ask questions.
try to
Yeah,
complete
sure.
the table,
If
okay?
you want to
Which
know
type
more.
of printer
Yes.
is these sentences about? Okay, so you can pause the video, you can do this task, complete the table, and then we will check together, and then we're finished. Strange. So cheaper to buy? Yes.
No, you are
Inkjet
right
printers
up
are
to a
cheaper.
point.
Cheaper to run. Laser printers are much
Explain.
cheaper to run. Faster printing? Yes. Takes up more space? Yes. Uses liquid ink? Yes. Uses toner? Yes. More reliable? Yes. Cartridges need changing more often? Yes. Right guys, okay, well, we've looked at quite a lot today. It's quite a big lesson. Next lesson, lesson 6, we look at understanding networks. Okay, so this is a live Zoom session. We need to talk about this in a bit more detail. This is a bit more difficult to understand. This we've got through a lot, but I don't think that what we've done today was very challenging.
We didn't have social media.
Right, well, if this is difficult, you can watch again. I will post a discussion forum for you where you can contribute your ideas about each of these devices. Okay, right, well done. And I'll see you in the Zoom session, which is either on which is either on Wednesday or Thursday for you, when we will be looking at networks and network vocabulary. Okay. Very good. Bye bye.